Hello, everybody. It's Thursday, and it feels weird because I remember when I used to consistently stream on Thursdays. And every time I come back to it, I get a strange, weird burst of nostalgia. Hey, Starly. Sorry for getting you mixed up with Luma on the Discord server. I don't know. I was. I spent all day working on a fax stuff. Have you ever tried to configure a fax server? So we had one, and it was linked to some older phone equipment, and we got rid of the phone equipment, but we needed to keep the fax lines. So we had to call another company to bring in the phone lines. So we transferred our service over to them, but then we had to make sure that the phone lines were talking to the fax server because the server would convert faxes into emails and then send those emails. And in the how do I expect you to have set up a fax server? Fair question. Yeah, I had to take the one that was already existing, and we got it working. But I'm just really glad that we're not using that old phone system. But I'm also kind of amazed that we're still using fax. So I'm glad it's over. Is all I can say. Those who can't do teach. Are you suggesting I do a stream where I teach you all to set up a fax server? Because I'm not doing that. Although I was thinking my last stream of the year might just be a just chatting stream. I don't know if you guys like that idea, but that would be interesting. We're talking about my day at work, Luma. I've had a very full day. Not a bad day though. Just a very full day. Oh, good. Guys, I got great news from Bank of America. I've scored a balance transfer offer. I literally only have one credit card with them. I don't know what they want me to transfer it to. Anyway, it's good that you're all here. I've missed you, especially since yesterday I was pretty wiped out and realistically did not have the horsepower necessary to do this. It's been a couple days, so I don't know why, but when I turned this game back on, it asked me to input the time, so I accommodated that request, but I don't know why it doesn't already remember that. You'd love a just chatting stream? Yeah, I'm thinking about making that be like the last one we do. I understand, Luma. I know. My evening streams are kind of awkward for some people. I'm hoping that my schedule will be more accommodating to people next year, but I don't know yet. I still have to figure out what that's going to look like. Especially because I actually have work tomorrow, which I usually don't. But it's okay. It's all good. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time rambling on my work day, other than to say a lore drop stream. You know, you guys can ask me questions and I'll just do my best to answer them. I know that us mythical Pokemon have our reputation for being all mystical, but like the truth is I don't bring up things sometimes because I just don't realize that they're that different. Like the other day I found out apparently I didn't know this. But apparently most mythical Pokemon don't have like any like how do I describe it? They don't have a central hierarchy. Like I thought that was standard, but apparently it's not. Yeah, I don't really have anything that I'm super interested. I mean, there's a couple things I can't talk about because I'm not supposed to, but most of the time, you know, I'm pretty chill just explaining things. There's an app called Hammer that lets you write stories, set characters, places, and a timeline of events. I hear that and my brain just automatically snaps to that Mario audio clip. Hammer! This lore building application brought to you by Super Mario. Anyway, glad you're all here. Congrats on making it through the ad break and through most of the week. I know major events transpired this week. I am not going to talk about them. I do not feel that this is the time or the place. But I will gladly talk about myself all day. So if you want to ask me about myself, go right ahead, because I am like any Meloetta. We love talking about ourselves. Anyway. Let's play the game, shall we? Oh, I just realized I don't need my controller. I gotta remember. I was like, no, you play this with a mouse and keyboard. You forgot to eat when you took your antibiotics. Oh. My sympathies. I actually had to drop by the prescription. It's called a pharmacy, Jello. You don't drop by a prescription. You pick up a prescription after you drop by the pharmacy. You know, sometimes I think that I really need to work on my language comprehension. I also have vitamin water tonight, which... Does anyone know why the label always includes, like, extra letters on it? Does anyone know that? Because I don't. Anyway, I should probably focus now. That could be the title of, like, an entire book of mine. But yeah, let's just get going. Oh, and keep an eye out, because I think next week the form change will occur, so if you like me in green, you're going to love this. All right. Here we go. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Everyone is loved. Hinshin week? I'm sorry, Tux. I'm afraid I don't get the joke. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. 6:48, that's your favorite time? Ooh, why? Oh yeah, I forgot. We're still on the sequel. And it's red now. Wait, begin the game? Okay, I guess we'll begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee
there.
number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push,
You know what the most
how
impressive
long
part
to
of
push
this
them,
is?
and in
Is
what
that he
order.
can count the milliseconds.
This is what employee 427 did every day,
That's impressive,
every month,
honestly.
of
Click
every
to skip.
year.
No, I want to see
And
this.
although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment
think-
that the orders came in,
I think he
as
deserves
though he
this.
had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Are you happy?
And then
Stanley?
one day, something very peculiar happened.
The sequel
Something
happened.
that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Is it just going to have that
He
tea
had
there
been
the
at
whole
his
time?
desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Why
No
are
one had
those
showed
so
up to
huge?
give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
These computers
Never in
are
all
so
his years
old.
at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, hey, we gotta put the bum in the mouth. We got an achievement. I've achieved something. All right, let's see.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Well, he's already commenting on that. I'm so willing to share about myself that there's not much to ask. Well, you know, hey, did that phone used to be there? Maybe it did. That is a bit on the nose, isn't it?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Is the bucket gonna stay? Okay, the bucket is gonna stay behind my head for a long time. So everybody just get used to that. I still don't know why that's over there. Okay, let's do this. So many balloons. Okay, Garfield. Ah, doors.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Of course, of course. The bucket is now calling the shots.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I just carry the bucket around. Welcome back, Shiny. And Shiny's laptop. That's
Truly,
nice of you to
being
say,
here
Green.
with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together.
Unfortunately,
First,
I do
walking
know
through
one
the
exception
door on
to
the
that
right,
rule.
then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Thrilling journey. I like how the longer I stand here, the more he's just trying to figure out what to do with that information.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
He's just got nothing. He's just not going to run out of things to add to this.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
That's amazing. The bucket is the true protagonist. I thought I was the protagonist.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Okay, but what if I don't?
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Why does the bucket have its own voice? What you said is not a joke. I'm beginning to believe you. Can't go in there, I guess. This is probably not going to end well, but I really do want to know what happens if we fall from here with the bucket. The Kickstarter got funding for the bucket voice actor.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
He just rolls with it. Okay. Well, I have to admit, I'm impressed at how much more patient the narrator seems to be now that there's
All
a
of his
bucket
co-workers
involved.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
The voices won. I mean, I'll be honest. This whole game is just, what if the voices won all the time? Embrace bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I just wanted to know what happens if you blow off the...
No.
If you
Said
blow
the
off the
bucket.
bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
All the way to the
There's something
top?
up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
He did?
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Really? Because it's going over there, and I'm not. Okay, we're just not gonna do that. Any bucket can talk if you're willing to listen. I can't. I don't know what to say about that. Some of these doors do not make a ton of sense.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Oh!
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't
I mean,
a
we
bucket?
have been having a
I suppose
philosophical
that would
discussion
explain a
about
lot
it.
about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it.
Yeah, what's that?
This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the
Really?
game
Are
if
you
not
sure?
addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is
Wow.
dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a
significant.
moment.
Well, we can't go back that way, so I guess we're gonna have to go this way. We're going into the bucket room now. I'm a bucket? Okay. I'm a bucket, you're a bucket, he's a bucket, she's a bucket. Wouldn't you like to be a bucket too? Is this... Wait. There's more?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Simply enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Oh, they
Okay,
even
let's
have
begin.
buttons. That's nice. I like how I'm still holding the bucket for this entire situation.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket,
Oh my
not an
gosh.
actual bucket.
Are you serious? Okay, so even when I try to play nice,
Item
you're gonna
2.
troll me, huh?
Is this a bucket?
No, that's not a bucket.
Correct. It is a 3D printed
Oh my
recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay. Alright. I didn't even finish the regular game. Well, you know me, I'm a sequence breaker.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Oh, good for me. I was right. This explains why all those Team Fortress 2
Item
cutscenes
4.
happen.
Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth.
It could
I
be
thought
a
this was
bucket.
gimmick.
You can attach a
How on
bucket
earth did
to
you
it.
manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
They just did that pipe painting thing. The game is technically open world. I mean...
Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is
Okay.
a bucket.
I can't even troll the game.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Both? What? What? Is meringue a bucket?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't
Meringue, are
find
you
the
a
next
bucket?
one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Meringue, you're taking a concerningly long amount of time to answer that question. Meringue says they don't know. No, Meringue, bucket is not... Well, no, it's not considered a gender by most. No, it's not that either. You know what? Let's finish this discussion later. I'm just gonna say yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yeah, of course.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence.
Is mayonnaise a
Yet
bucket?
now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay. That's it. We don't... No more buckets.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea.
I mean...
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now.
Do you?
It's
That's
delightful
good.
to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game.
I mean...
So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay,
And
sure.
we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Well,
who knows what that
according
information
to
might do to a
analytics,
person.
I've got 7
All right,
people
here we
who
go.
don't know this besides me, so... The real question is instrument. Is instrument a mayonnaise? Oh no. Yeah, Tux, I have to concur. It must require
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh, the buckets.
What could it mean?
Bucket's
Stanley
gone.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, there. Oh, right. It's over here.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Awaiting input. I click that, and then that, and then that. Okay, well, it only lets me click one key. It was all a bucket. Well, clearly, though, I'm not a bucket because I remained on screen. So, we know I'm not a bucket. We've clarified that, at least.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, sure.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Well, I'm
Perhaps
glad we
his
have...
boss's
Yeah, that's
office
true.
was
You're...
where he'd find
Chat's
answers.
not a bucket, because you're all there. So that's at least 2 entities that we know are not buckets. We have not confirmed if meringue is a bucket yet.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Is that so?
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom
You already
closet
have
is
a
trying to
bucket.
say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
Buckets
Good for
aren't
you,
even
Stanley.
cleaning supplies.
Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
Is there even a broom
Stanley,
in here?
I never
Oh, okay.
liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom
think
closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends,
the narrator
that your
may be
relationship
less
is purely
sane than I
superficial and
am.
convenient, that your life is so
You're working for the
banal and
buckets behind
meaningless
the
that you'd
scenes?
feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
Yeah, that's right.
Expand on the
You
wide
can't say that
variety of
to me
experiences
because-
you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal
Well, because
entries
I used to
detailing
have
the
my
rich
own throne
emotional
room. That's
landscape
why.
of your
That-
feelings
yeah,
for the
that's-
bucket, as they have
I mean,
changed
there was
and
a bucket
evolved
inside
over
of
the
it,
years.
I think. I don't know.
Let him have it.
All right, we've officially spent too much time in here.
Okay, I've got you something which
Oh,
I
yeah?
think will
You
help
have
settle
a
this
thing for
debate
me?
once and for all.
What's
Here we
that?
go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We're leaving the broom closet now.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Oh yeah. What's that? Oh,
You see? I feel that it works because
Why
the
do you
sticker
have a
is
sticker
also
on a
a
bucket?
bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to
good.
yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
yeah. That's that is a fair variety of applications. I wish I could swing the bucket as well. That would be cool.
You know what? Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
I didn't get
office.
to hear the rest of the bucket dialogue. Oh, hey, look, a collectible.
You found one of them.
I-
One of the miniature
I'm
Stanley
surprised that they're
figurines.
still in the
Remember,
game, to be
no
honest.
reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
No?
So, I implore you to savor each and every
look so
moment you come
depressed.
across one of these beautiful figurines.
I just, that's fair. Nara-chan is a post stirrer. Make the bucket a slosher. We could put the figurine in the bucket. That would be
But
convenient.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
1, 2,
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Oh,
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these.
Yeah?
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley
Are we being
realized,
judged by a bucket?
this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very
We lost the bucket, chat!
And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
Yeah?
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could
Okay.
it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
Are there more
None of
buckets?
them were his.
Where
None
are
of them
these
were his
coming
special
from?
bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
I can't take
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the
my
bucket had
gosh.
been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What does that mean?
It was incredibly painful.
Oh, of course.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Okay. Sure. That's fine.
This is the story of a woman named
I'm
Mariella.
sorry. Are we coming back to Mariella?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
What is
She
happening?
arose, got dressed,
What
picked
is
up
going
her bucket
on?
of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
She brought a bucket.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
So this is so
Right
we got
away,
this ending
she knew
but
what the
without the
problem
bucket
was.
now.
This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is
I'm sorry, I'm
predetermined and
supposed to
free
be
will is an
laughing, but
illusion and it's
I
all
don't
just
know.
a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his
Oh
bucket
my
with him.
gosh.
Perhaps he didn't
Oh,
even
okay.
realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought. And she hugged her
Okay,
own bucket
yeah.
even tighter. But of course, she had no
No,
time
of
for
course
this.
not. She's
There were a myriad of confusing problems
and she needs
would
to bring the
soon have to
bucket with her.
confront
The
at
bucket,
work.
you know, the
for which
bucket
her
clearly
bucket
doesn't want
would
to see
provide
this.
absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck
yeah, of
yes,
course.
she thought to herself. My life kicks ass.
You can't
and she
say
backflipped
that.
all the way to work.
She backflipped off the... What? What? Oh no! Oh my gosh! I'm so. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, I'll be right back, chat. I need to get myself together. See you when you get back, Tux. I'll be just a second. Oh my word. Oh. I'm so glad we got the bucket. Or we will go get the bucket. No, I'm great. I'm great. I was laughing so hard I could feel myself getting congested, and I was like, I'd better go take care of this before I end up sneezing all over the mic or no. Don't. I'm sorry, Luma. I had to get myself together. All right, let's try this again. Okay. All right. This is me. I'm
All of his co-workers were
I've got
gone.
it back together
What
again.
could it
I don't
mean?
understand.
Stanley decided to
Where's the
go to the
bucket?
meeting room. Perhaps he had
Am I
simply
getting
missed a memo.
philosophical about this dang
No
thing?
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a
What?
trace
Ooh,
of his
what's this?
co-workers.
Oh, hey, that's cool. I didn't see that yet. Oh, okay. They did put the sticker on it. That's the sticker's on it, so it's gonna stay on there. That's nice.
Spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Why doesn't he keep the bucket with him at all times? That's the why. Why am I getting philosophical about this bucket? What is? This bucket is now occupying way more space in my head than it has any right to. The left door? Okay, alright.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
Get well,
and
Subway.
entered the door on his left.
The fact the balloons are still there. Let's say, I'm guessing the broom closet. Wait. Trust the completionist instinct? Oh no. We have to synergize our resources. There are many questions. There was no memo from management. Maybe we are did they seriously redo all of these? Yeah. They redid all the slides. Oh my gosh. There will be a reward for finding them all. I provided follow the clues provided by employee 416. Wait, Figlies? They're called Figlies? And then there's Wingdings. That's just Wingdings font. Okay. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless. TBH. Saw one in cargo from employee 421 building a bridge. What do they want? Our data, stock options, money. Should we make them employees? Maybe? Interns? Yes. What do they... Why do they kind of look like 427? Artist's rendition? Magnets? Why float? How many are there? Can we sell them? Obviously. More sold together. Do we need contracts for them? Potential liability. Maybe get an NDA. Maybe we are the collectors. Shut the frick up. Hey! To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambience or local audio sources using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as directional mics, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noise. Data shows that in all likelihood it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks to be reverberance off a porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads on this? Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? Source of levitation? Oh my gosh. This is so ridiculous. I like how it's just everywhere. Please do not leave the office without reporting back on any new findings. Teamwork and communication are of great importance during this unprecedented time of investigation. Help! I'm a post-it! I like how that one is still there. There will be a reward for finding them all. Are you sure, though? Places to search. Mission status. 5 there be, just take 3 from me. A private but smelly place for an important person. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. Okay, well, We just gotta look through all these places. Probably. Need more plans. Warehouse access plan. Produce 1 plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from... Why is Chris still here? Okay, well, I like how the narrator is completely silent for this, too. He's like, I got nothing to say.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers.
Okay.
If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Alright, fine. No stickers. What if we won't make him back inside? Alright, fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked
the bucket's
upstairs
walking
to
now,
the
chat.
boss's office.
Are we walking or is the bucket walking? I think the bucket might be doing the walking. I knew it! Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What
You
about
think so?
mini stands?
Nope.
Stanley figs?
No.
What about Stanlerines?
Do we
Yes,
have to?
I think I like that.
Okay.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Why is it under my belt? I don't wear a belt. I wear a cravat. Sometimes. Not even all the time. Nice painting, though. What's in here? I still don't get the panda. Oh my gosh. What's this? Oh, I see. Oh, we can take the elevator. Let's try going up. Maybe. Oh, don't want to walk out of the elevator. Oh, catchy music. Am I obscuring the bucket too much, chat? Would you rather see more of the bucket? Because I can get out of the way if you'd rather have more bucket in the stream. Longer ride than I thought it would be. How long is this ride? Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. Can we go up? I don't think we can. I think we're stuck. It's 3 minutes? We're gonna be here for... What? Why? Why is this game so wasting time? Oh my gosh. Well, you know, it is a catchy song. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry for the sniffles. I just... Oh, you know, it's a new song. So maybe it says wake me up when it's over. confetti from? We're still in the elevator. What are we celebrating? Can't we sleep in the elevator? Why not? You never fallen asleep in an elevator? I've fallen asleep in an elevator. Excuse me? Did that? Did we? Oh, you son of a bitwalker. Are you serious? You know what? We'll see what happens if we go down. Probably the same thing. It resumes the music immediately from where we left it. Alright. You know what? This is the dumbest elevator of all time. Oh my gosh. Okay, what's over here? There we go. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Well, thank goodness
Even
the bucket
now,
is here.
in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Yeah?
It would be with him, always.
Yeah?
The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
Chianti.
At this
that's
point,
nice.
Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Did I?
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was
Maybe.
the bucket guiding him?
You never know.
Yes,
All this talk about
this
smart
is certainly the
appliances,
most
why not dumb
logical
appliances?
explanation.
Meringue. Meringue. What's the difference between a smart appliance and a dumb appliance? What do you think is the difference? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. That would work. That makes sense. Yeah, I agree. All right, now let's see. Huh. Oh yeah, there's an elevator. Oh hey, look, thing.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
That's
And now
probably
I'm
good.
torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What
Are
do you
you?
think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Yeah, will it? Okay, that's cool. At least we found it. You guys think you all collectively made up Meringue? No, I guarantee you, Meringue is real. In fact, they'll probably take over for me again on Sunday. That was a weird noise. That was an even weirder noise. Collective history? Wait. Collective history? Collective hysteria? Is that what that sounds like? How do you pronounce that? You can see them with a telescope occasionally. Well, that's convenient. There used to be a telescope from the Space Needle. I don't think it's still there, but there used to be one. I love how I click up and it immediately... Whoa. It immediately starts going down. Hold on, Luma. That one's going to be hard for me to pronounce.
The elevator raced downward. plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
I think that's right.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
Yeah?
The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yeah? You sure? That's how I got it right? That's good. You know, we could go back up. Okay, we'll go this way. Just this once. We'll actually... Why is this yellow? That's weird.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, but what if?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
I won't get the neutral ending with the bucket. I have to go
But
without
of course,
the bucket.
Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
Which is why we're leaving now.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3.
Oh,
I want
was
to go
there?
back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Bucket. I love how disgusted he says when he says that. The bucket said nothing. The bucket has no opinion. What? What? Why am I referring so much to this bucket now? This is ridiculous.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over.
Okay, but what if I just hit the 7 over and over?
After taking some time to show the bucket around the boss's office, Stanley at last went to the keypad, where he began eagerly pressing the number 3 again and again.
You want to name the bucket Anthony?
8,
Okay, I think we've done enough 8s. All right, let's keep going. But we'll go back down the elevator. I think we can do this now.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Well, to be fair, we did enjoy slamming a few other buttons while we were there. You know. Maybe Anthony knows the code. What's
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again? Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
But what if?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Are you sure? It's a pretty long hallway.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Is it just me, or does it feel like the hallway is a lot longer than it actually is?
But of course, Stanley and the bucket
don't know
thought
why I
better
got
of it
so deep
and
in it,
realized they simply had too much to live for.
Go escape. I just left escape. Also, what font is that? Does anybody recognize that font? So what happens if I do it again?
Nope. It's death for Stanley and the bucket.
Nope, it's just the way he says it. Hold on, let's walk backwards. Yeah, there we go. It's more fun that way. Whee!
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
I mean, that's not true. I'm actually walking backward. Okay, there we go. I was walking backward. Oop. I like how the bucket still, like, remains eliminated. Bonk. Oh yeah, this thing. Is it bad that I say that? Like, oh yeah, this thing.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To
Yeah?
be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But
Does
what
it?
use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time
sort of
carrying a
kicked
bucket
himself.
everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh,
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly
I'm
into
sorry,
the
this
enormous
gal
metal
again?
jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an
the
end
bucket's
as it
life.
was crushed violently to death.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure the bucket is our primary concern here. I guess the bucket is our primary concern here. Oh, I thought there was going to be a 2 at the end.
It was a
still.
shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way.
Is that
but
so?
this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious
That's,
bucket
you know
to
what, you're
behold.
right. You're right, Sherry. I should respect the bucket more. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anthony. So now we're being kicked into the museum, kind of. The bucket gets its own article now. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within. A cavernous void. But through use of the bucket in front of you, the mind becomes full. Oh, through use of the exhibit in front of you. I just auto-corrected it to bucket. The mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn with you, here out with you into the open world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Wow. Kind of a tall order, don't you think? I really thought, you know what, though? It would be very funny if this just said the bucket parable. I'm just saying. That'd be funny.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
Yeah.
Can you see the hubris that blinded him?
You know,
can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
I mean, yeah, I kind of see it. I lost my bucket. Oh, that was me working out some congestion loom. I didn't really want you all to hear that. At least not more than you have to, you know? I apologize. Can we go down here or look through here? I guess not. I like how she's judgmental now. A bucket with 2 handles. This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Wow, attempting it. That seems kind of dramatic. Don't you think, everybody? That seems like maybe a bit extreme. I don't know. Oh, is this the bucket? No, this is a different bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Somebody played a lot of Team Fortress. The stress bucket, an analogy: worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Stress equals a level of water in the bucket. The stress bucket presented without commentary. What is happening? I don't even understand. Like the mood whiplash. It's so difficult to explain. The original one was made in Source. I mean, that's true. Well, we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Well, that's nice. It's nice of the bucket to be so accepting. Right, chat? It's too bad Anthony isn't here to witness this with us.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
So we're going to lose a sticker,
It is
right?
man who should kneel before the bucket.
We're going to lose a sticker, aren't we? We don't get to keep the sticker on there anymore. Oh, the hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. I feel like if I go for the bucket, I'm gonna... What? Oh! I thought we were gonna fall, but no.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Can we save Anthony?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
Okay,
the bucket
in the
shall take
previous
his place
version, you
as ruler,
suggested...
as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
What are you talking about? What? What? How did that even... What? Okay. I like how for a moment there was dialogue from the bucket narration. I don't even know, man. Chat, what is going on? What is happening? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we'll have to go and find Anthony. Can I ring the phone? No, I guess not. But we've been kicked into another layout, so this is different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, hey, look, a bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and
Okay, it's the same
smiled.
bucket.
He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
See? We have to have the...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It's true. Everybody loves that lounge. Everybody.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left
I still
to go
love how
back to the
mad he
meeting room.
sounds about that. No, the bucket was wrong. The level of offense he takes. And he's not even responsible for this.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah, good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
Why-
It should
why
have
would you
alarmed him, of
question
course,
the
because
talking
buckets
bucket?
can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
I'm not
He was
questioning the
firmly
talking
convinced that the
bucket, are
bucket
you?
had spoken to him,
I think
and
Anthony,
he
I think
unthinkingly
Anthony
did whatever the
knows
bucket
what he's
asked.
talking about. Still don't fully understand what that narrator was. The other narrator.
In
Did we ever get her
here.
name?
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
The bucket's still talking in this dark room? It's not even that dark. But you know what? That's fine. Oh, this dark room. See, this is pretty dark. This is pretty dark. Oh.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
What? Are you heading out, Starly? All right. The narrator's voice is way louder than mine? Oh, I see. I can fix that. I don't need to... It's the wrong button. Have a restful one, Starly. Thanks for joining in, alright? We'll see you next time. Alright, let me just do this. The whole game is loud? But we've been playing for an hour. Has it been loud the whole time? Oops. There we go.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things.
Are you
Buckets
sure?
can't talk.
It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously.
Well, at least
Where did
he's blaming
I mess up the
himself.
joke? Should I have paused for longer? or
Nice
spoken
throw
quicker?
there,
Comedic
Hound.
timing
Good to
is so
see ya. How
difficult.
you doing?
I wish I were better at it, but there isn't exactly an instructional video
Are we
on
gonna-
comedy
is he-
that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Oh, we get to
it's
see a
sitting
video
right
about
here. Let's take a
comedic
look.
timing. Let's watch this together. This is going to be great.
What is comedic timing?
Oh,
What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last?
we get a
How
whole
can it
dialogue
be
here.
used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is
All of these questions.
yes.
Oh, is it?
Let's dive deeper.
Great.
If you've ever told a
I like
joke
the-
or made
I love
someone
the
laugh,
bongos there.
in all
Hunter,
likelihood,
that's
you did
pretty
it while
great.
standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit,
Okay.
with one of your arms raised straight upward at
Oh.
a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the
Okay.
optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Are they?
To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh,
Oh.
and then spell out your name a second time.
Are you
With
sure?
these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
I
Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds
Oh.
and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm not doing it. You can't make me.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations
I like how his eyes are
management, which is
pointing
the
the same
cornerstone
direction.
of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys.
Oh, surveys.
Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
Okay, that's
An effective
fair.
survey should be no less than 10 pages long
Oh.
and should include the same question reprinted several times.
Oh.
Just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random.
Oh.
And that's all there is. With these strategies
Can
at
we
your
do that in 90
disposal,
seconds, though?
you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all.
Yeah?
Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed
What?
on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who
What?
threaten our very existence.
What?
And to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to
Where's
this
this
noble
coming
cause,
from?
just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
What? Huh? Hold on. Wait.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then.
Are
So
they?
with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors
are you
and
sure?
walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come
Oh.
along, let's head back.
Okay, well, here comes the reset. Oh, no, he's actually gonna give me a door option. Oh, okay. Great. So we're gonna take the cargo lift all the way back. Hi, Green. Oh, and he's modded this area so we can't plunge to our deaths anymore.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept.
Yeah?
The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me.
Yeah?
Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now.
Where did you even
But I
find it?
wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
Okay, Loomis,
The
you need to get back.
bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke.
What?
Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Are you sure? Because I feel like we've been overthinking everything up to this point. Just a guess, but I love how we're walking all the way back to the. It's like, okay, sure, let's go back to the employee lounge. This seems fine. Well, you know, we appreciate Anthony around here. We do. It's fair. We've named Hunter, I think you're joining us a little later. We named the bucket Anthony.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Oh. Well, what's...
What? We're back at the phone already?
Yeah.
No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
That's true.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point.
Yeah,
A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit,
But instead
which
we just got a
culminates
different
in this
loading
scene
zone.
with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room.
I mean-
What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself.
I think
I don't deserve the
I
title
think
of
we're
King of Comedy.
gaslighting
I'm
this
nothing.
narrator.
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp.
Okay.
I think I need to go back
Oh,
and
no.
rewatch that instructional video again.
Oh no.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Is the
Here we go.
okay,
You ready?
all right, great.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they
Here we
entered
go.
the door on the left.
All right, what happens if we go to the right again? Is it gonna kick us into the phone room again?
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
And it just resets immediately.
Here we
It's like,
go.
nope.
You ready? When Stanley and the
You have
bucket
to go
came
to
to
the
a
left.
set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
All right, I guess I'll do the left door this time.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video?
Well,
I think this is
okay.
all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing
Oh my
work now. It's
gosh.
done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
Well-
I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on.
Do you
all
have
because
meetings?
you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are
Well-
you proud of yourself for bringing me down,
We
Stanley?
could
Are
go
you
back. Okay. All right.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison.
Did we seriously get the
Well, let me try that
credits?
again, Stanley.
These are the credits?
I heard that you are
And I
pale with
and I
shame.
still have the
How
bucket. It's not
unmanaged in
even.
love with a bucket you
He's
are.
not even holding it.
No?
Now I have the...
Do not. Is it a delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame. Pale. What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes.
Where? How did we end up here?
That's exactly
Need more
what it
videos?
is.
Oh,
That's
goody.
what will make me the king of comedy again.
The king of
More
comedy. Sorry, Leroy.
videos. Let's see.
How did we even... I love how the credits just freeze at the end. And we're holding the bucket even though Stanley's supposed to be holding the... this game. Okay, sure.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Yeah,
Perhaps he had simply missed a
did
memo.
say that.
The
but-
good old bucket.
Okay, we
Just
got our bucket.
Stanley and the
We got
bucket.
Anthony. We got
Off
Anthony.
on another thrilling adventure
We got
together.
Anthony and Stanley. We're good. We got everything. We got everything we need.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I think. Yeah, we'll take the left this time. Oh, good. There will be cleaning of this wall required. I want to go home. Lies. Stop kidding yourselves. The dialogue here got updated. That's ridiculous. Trust your completionist instinct. Oh my word. This is so dumb. And I mean that in the best possible way. All right, let's go this way.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Sure.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew?
I wondered if he
all
would
along?
respond to
Was
me
the
like
bucket
solving the problem
guiding him?
immediately, but nope.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
He just doesn't comment on it at all. All right. Going down. So, what do you think happens if we actually like do what we're told just this once? With the bucket, of course.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
That's very specific when you think about it. Oh, well, now we're committed. Well, we missed the... we triggered another credits sequence, kind of by accident. Sorry, did we walk onto the chair? Yeah, we walked onto the chair. I guess the chair has a staircase. I didn't think of the chair as a staircase, but it is. Weird.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Oh, I could actually fall from here? Oh! Okay, well...
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Did it now?
Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Yeah? Oh, is that...
So they set up a little couch and relaxed.
Oh!
It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps.
That's nice. We got a couch.
After some time had gone by, they
What?
installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving
Where did we
for
get all this
meals.
furniture?
But it wasn't until the
I'm
rugs
sorry.
and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In
Where did
fact,
we even
after
get
some
this stuff?
time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all.
How did
He'd
this
never
happen?
gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the
Yeah,
mind
but,
control facility.
I mean, there is a TV.
This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
What?
It unsettled the bucket deeply.
Oh, now the bucket
Stanley
is unsettled.
wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back,
What? How did
doing
we
it
even?
over again, staying on the path.
How did we even end up here?
It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible.
Oh, look,
Yet
snake.
Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground.
Okay, but it was a fairly
sighed.
comfortable
True,
looking one
it wasn't
at
an
some
ending.
point.
But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of
Oh,
things, maybe
hold on.
this will
I climbed the
become an
lamp.
ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on.
The bucket is
The
counting
two of them
on it.
waited for a very
Well,
long
come on,
time.
Anthony. We can do this together. I think. Maybe. Hopefully. Presumably. Oh. The end. Now we're back in the other office.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
I wonder how many times you have to hit a key on that keyboard. Why do we call it Anthony? I think chat named the bucket Anthony. I don't think I'm responsible for that. I think it just happened.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Did chat not call the bucket Anthony? What? Hold on. Or was it Anthony? Anthony. Was it Anthony? Not Anthony? Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, we're gonna go this way. Actually. Okay, we will go. No, well. Well, yeah, no, it did get invented in this stream. We didn't name the bucket prior, but there was a decision to name it Anthony. Beware the false prophet, some other guy. Oh, you spilled coffee all over yours. That's unfortunate.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours.
Good to know.
But alas,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
No stickers. Sorry. Oh yeah, the pointless elevator.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Seems like a nice couch.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire
It's
if
a big
not for the
camera.
soothing presence of the bucket.
Though. How?
Even
well,
now,
not big. It's
in
a
its
tall
darkest
camera.
of
Look how
hours,
tall that
did the
is.
bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it.
Can we?
The two
can
of
we
them were
break any of these open?
inseparable.
I don't think we can.
At this point, Stanley was
But
so
it would've been
absorbed in
funny.
the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
No?
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Are you sure? What if we just did 0000? 9876.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
8254.
2845.
6134. 7391.
The bucket did not react, except perhaps a tiny glow of warmth.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in.
No.
And the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
I love how that line has not changed. Like, yeah, okay, that seems reasonable. That would stay the same. And we got along with the story. Yay, look at us go. Oh my goodness. Alright, so now what? Ooh.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay, alright, sure. We'll push this. Well, hold on. Oh, you can just fall right off of here if you're not careful. Dang. It looks like I didn't even need to worry. Like, I didn't even need to climb the chair like last time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
There are a lot of television
What
screens
horrible
here.
secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I like how the assumption is just, well, okay, to be fair, the sign did say, so I guess that's pretty clear. Oh, hey, we can go this way. Cool. There's a whole other thing we can walk to that wasn't here or available a moment ago. Is that looks almost like a bread box. Doesn't it look a little bit like a bread box? Employee observation protocol. It is... It's kind of hard to read that. Well, let's do this.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
But we didn't.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Yeah?
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently,
Oh, now Stanley's
reassuring
reassuring
it
that.
that everything would be fine.
Now Stanley's reassuring the bucket. Oh, hey, look, number 427. Wow, that's a really dingy looking office. I like how he's reassuring the bucket now. Like, yeah, that seems reasonable.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do?
I don't know if
or
we
not
should
want to
worry
do
about
in the
Anthony
first
being
place?
susceptible to...
These questions
to this.
raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Did it now?
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
Where are we going?
At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Say, Stanley's smart. He knows he can't trust me.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
No?
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Yeah?
They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Did he? Did it? I've gendered the bucket. I don't know what's wrong with me, chat. So what happens if I start randomly pushing buttons? Doesn't look like much has changed from those buttons, but maybe if I just push the 2. No, not much going on there. What about the 1? No? Okay. Well, I guess we could try going up here and pushing this one. Wait, can we go up there? Oh, wait, hold on. Staircase is over here. Over here? No? Oh, it's gated off. It's kind of hard to tell with the darkness here. Okay, well, I guess we'll go this way instead. We'll just keep on keeping on. This way. Okay, well, I guess we'll go inside here and see if the door closes behind us. I'm gonna guess it does. No? Okay. The machine is offline, so no button works. Oh, well, that does make sense.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Danger. The electric shock risk.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
Oh, now it's
Stanley gasped in
Anthony's
horror.
fault.
Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
We were going to throw away the bucket. Oh.
Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
I'm sorry. Are we able to control the birds?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all.
No?
It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Yeah?
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
Oh, I see.
Had the bucket known this all along?
Maybe.
Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
I like that.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
The worst part is
Of all the
I'm still
possible
enjoying
paths
this.
his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
We got the bird ending. I'm guessing the game's gonna restart now. Yep, there we go. Well, we didn't get through all the bird videos, but we got through a couple of them. I don't know, I guess that could be a good ending. Oh. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. Okay, so if you push enough buttons on there... Oh, this is trippy. Ooh. Colors. It's so shiny. Okay, I should probably stop doing that before I make somebody dizzy. You just get to push every button. Wait, what else is there to... I need to push all of the buttons to leave? Oh, well, this could take us a second, chat. How many are there? No, seriously, how many buttons are there? Oh, they're coming back on. Oh no. Are you sure I have to push all of them to leave? Because they all came back on. You lied, by the way. Well, thanks. Okay, now just try to click all the buttons I can. I wonder if one of these buttons is a different color from all the others. They all look like they're the same. They're not the same, but I don't see any unique colors. Well, I could just restart, but surely there's more to it than that. There's got to be something else I'm supposed to do. I don't know what, though. This is very different. Can we go down? How about up? There must be something else. There must be something else. What is it? All these buttons have corresponding colors. Is there one unique one in the bunch that I don't see? Chat, what do I do? Oh yeah, hey, that reminds me. Mario and Luigi Brothership came out today, didn't it? That's pretty cool. I hope everybody's enjoying that. There are a lot of buttons. Also, you get a really trippy effect from just doing this. Which is funny, because technically you can just do it the whole time. You can just keep looping this. Oh, that's trippy. Okay, this is actually kind of fun to look at, so like... It's kind of mesmerizing. I should focus, though. Now, let's see. There's red ones, orange ones, green ones, light blue, dark blue, other green. So there's nothing to do here except okay. So basically, pushing every key on the keyboard kicks you into this room and you're forced to restart. Well, that's okay. At least we can try. Say we tried it. You know, there's an endless supply of buttons, so that's cool. It is very colorful to look at. I like how if you spin the mouse around, you get a really wild visual effect. Like, this is pretty cool looking, honestly. Whee! It's spinning colors. Okay, alright. Well, now you all know what happens if you hit all the inputs on the keys, so that's cool.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
That's pretty complimentary to that bucket when you think about it. I mean, we do love Antony, but dang.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah? We're still missing some statues. You know, for the completionists.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I was hoping we could go into that room, but I guess not. There we go.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Maybe.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Of course. I love how dead committed serious he is to this story, even though it's really quite silly. This narrator has passion, you know?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, we did. And then we pushed the button on the light bulb.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
There are a lot of
What horrible
TVs
secret
here.
did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I do like how you just push buttons and it's like, welcome to heaven, where you can push more buttons. Like, your reward for pushing buttons is buttons.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
It's funny he says that
The
because I
bucket
don't see
had
a
never seen
single other
anything
person
like
in this
and
entire
it very
thing.
nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be
Like,
fine.
he's not even in this thing, which I think is objectively very funny.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
These are all important questions.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the
Thank you,
entire
Shiny.
world.
I think
At
right
this
now
point,
Anthony
he
needs
could trust
you more than
no
ever,
one
honestly.
except for the bucket.
All right.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content.
Yeah?
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Are you sure?
And as the cold reality
Safe
of this
fail.
past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
I do
For
think it's
he and
funny
the
how
bucket would dismantle the controls for
it's
good.
never
Two
explained.
best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
It's never
They
explained.
high-fived in a really cool
where
way.
everybody
And
went.
the bucket
Like,
made a
that
sassy
is never
comment
elaborated
about taking
upon.
down the system.
I don't even know, man. Wow, that sounded terrible. We just broke everything.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
You mean darkness?
Was it over?
Maybe.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine.
Woo!
Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door.
That is a pretty
The
big
bucket
door.
wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
To sneeze?
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Really?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty.
We can't
Until
get past
finally
this
the
point.
truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Oh, the door
Even
is
the facility
closing.
itself recognized the incredible calming presence of
no!
the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
Well-
No. Stanley can't leave this place.
Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms.
Well,
Not
now
while this building has anything to say about
Now
it.
the
Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room.
I can't-
But at least
he has the bucket. Do I, though?
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Yeah? Because I can't see anything. Is it just going to reload? Yep. It just reloads. Wait, that's a phone. Wait. Oh no, not here again! I wasn't trying to do this! Let me out. I wasn't trying to return to the button room.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
I mean, kind of. Guess we should take the bucket with us.
The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Well, did I though? Nah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge
I love how
was
he's so
simply the
committed to
place
trying to make
be.
this bucket a key, like...
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley
he's
thought to
100%
himself.
committed
Yes,
to this.
perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Anthony knows everything.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
But,
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the
I
meeting
mean,
room.
I don't know. I thought the bucket was on something. Wooden planks? Caution, do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Cargo room. Which room is the cargo room?
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Oh, these
Go to the
wooden
cargo
planks.
lift.
Oh! Well, this is new. I like how we still have the bucket. Like, we need it? No, but we still have it. Oh, there's a light on the ground. And cassette tapes. Any albums I know? Ooh, a phone. Can we pick it up? I'm gonna guess no. Yeah, I didn't think so. Can't blame me for trying, though, right, chat? Right? Oop. Wow, why are there so many tapes around here? This is an awful way to use these. Oh.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
Huh.
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up.
You need me to vent?
No
You
matter
need-
how
oh my
many
gosh.
times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
The bucket does seem to have a
And
lot
the
of lore. It
emptiness in
does.
my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it.
And
I
yet,
still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything
the-
feels so...
What?
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Is that what you're gonna do?
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Are you sure?
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful.
Why is this so
because
dark?
as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back.
What?
Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's
Strange
there?
otherworldly noises. Yeah. Strange.
Camporata.
What? Well, that doesn't sound good. Is it gonna reset to the is it gonna reset to the room? Oh my gosh. Again? What is happening? Okay, alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Your
Stanley
guess is
decided to
as good
go
as
to the
mine.
meeting room. Perhaps
Maybe
he
we
had
should
simply
leave.
missed a
Maybe
memo.
we should leave the bucket this time. We're gonna. You know what? We're gonna leave the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
So he does not.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before.
How much dialogue
Was
was
it this
written for
room?
this one
A
room?
connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
Never know.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Hi, Rose. This is our second attempt at the
Stanley was
Stanley
so bad
Parable.
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh gosh, this is a narrow path. Man, the things I do for collectibles.
You're getting close now, Stanley.
See?
You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very
I hate
soon,
that.
you'll collect
Take
the
it
last
back.
one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
It'll be one.
We'll be different people by then.
Yeah.
Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You
It's
can't
true.
go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Are you sure? Okay, so I'm guessing if I walk from here, I'm gonna die. That's just my guess, but I don't know. Is there something soft I could walk onto? Oh my gosh, are you all gonna make that joke now? I feel like you're all making that joke now. Oh man, yeah, I would definitely die if I. Whoa, actually, I'm not even sure what I'm standing on right now. Okay, well, I guess we'll go back into the weird vent. Try not to fall from this height. Okay, cool. Back in here. Without the bucket. Oh yeah, we dropped from down there. I was like, where did we even come from?
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
I don't think I was expecting that to
So
happen.
far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you?
What a silly and trite explanation that would be.
I
All the back
mean-
and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I
Well,
bet each and every
no.
time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination,
Hey,
you
no,
must
it does-
absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling.
Hey, you don't-
It must be so simple to be you.
Hey.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Wow.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
It was just here. What were you expecting me to do? Oh my gosh. You know what? I don't...
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Wait a minute. There's like two human character models in this entire game. There's nobody following me. We're telling that to Stanley, not me. I don't know. I felt attacked. Okay. Alright. No new content in that door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I mean...
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright, fine. We'll take the first open door on my left.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Are you sure? Because I don't feel like that's what we're doing. I could be wrong.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
It's
So now in
true.
order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Is it left?
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Okay, it's to the right then.
No, not the right. Why
should have
would
brought
I
the
have
bucket
ever
with me.
said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Oh, this is the confusion ending? We already did this room? Well,
Now, let's
yeah,
see.
that
We
does
went
seem
down
familiar. We have
right,
been
left,
here.
Down,
But we didn't bring the bucket
right.
with us last time,
Yep,
so...
okay, yes.
That would have
I've got
been
it now.
different, right?
This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Yeah, are you sure? Oh, we've been here.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. Can we
Just close my
get
eyes.
back to,
I mean,
oh,
and I can't even go
who am I
back.
kidding?
I love that.
It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Reset. Alright. This time
All
we'll
of
take
his
the bucket with
co-workers
us.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Don't you hate it when you miss your memos? I miss memos all the time. Wait a minute, where's my bucket? Anthony, where are you? Where's Anthony? Isn't Anthony supposed to be here? Oh, I see. Okay. So we gotta reload to the last...
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
Isn't
Is
it?
this Stanley's office?
I think it is.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker.
Yeah?
In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Better man and a better coworker. Yeah, we named the bucket Anthony, Rose.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Actually, I feel like I did that wrong. Oh well. It's fine. We'll find another way to deviate. We have all but one of these. Oh yeah, we've done all of these endings. Are we running out of endings? I feel like we've done almost all of them.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, that was clumsy. Okay, let's try that again.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Very lucky. Okay, this is different.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
And you know,
telling
we
him
can't
that the
ignore
employee
Anthony.
lounge
Anthony's
was simply
just
the
too
place
smart.
to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
This is the best case. This is the best usage of the Unity engine. Never ignore Anthony. No, Anthony knows all. Anthony knows all. I don't know why the coffee machine here is so sad,
Truly,
though.
being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together.
Remember that time we played
walking
Superliminal
through the
together,
door on
chat?
the right,
Maybe I need to play
then
more games
walking
like
to the
this.
lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
We love
No,
Anthony.
never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Well, I
Stanley
thought the
took the
bucket was
door on his
fine.
left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Yeah? Well, what if I take the bucket down here with me? What about then? What are you going to do about that,
Oh,
Mr.
good
Narrator?
Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this
What
place
the
eventually.
heck? Okay. Why?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you,
Is
Stanley.
this an intervention?
We've come together here because we care about you very much.
Why is there a baby?
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
Well,
We're the ones that matter, Stanley.
I mean-
Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their
Is this-
favorite
but this
jokes,
isn't-
not this bucket that they've never seen before.
Okay, but you're the
Yes,
one.
I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too
The
much time
line
with
is
it.
still going off.
Don't you
The
want another
line.
story involving the Adventure Line?
You didn't even
we could
like
make
the Adventure Line.
Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
You said you didn't like the. You yourself said you didn't like the Adventure Line. I'm staying inside the broom closet. You can't make me leave. I mean, I guess you can. No, actually, I don't think you can. I think I can stay in here. I like how they just straight up duplicated the room. Oh, all right. I still don't understand the baby. What's the baby doing here? And I know what you're doing here. I know you. I'm not so sure about the fire that is just seeping in and out of this wood. There's so much to unpack here. But sure, we'll follow the line, I guess.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh no. Oh no. You're bringing back this? Oh my gosh. This stupid song. And it, I don't know why we're following this thing. raw assets, the only map. I like how it's just the name of... We're back at this dopest song! Oh my gosh. Are we seriously following this line? And I like how I still
Now,
have the bucket.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
Oh, the music
Don't you
spot.
remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
At this point, I'm so deep in the game, I don't even know.
Yes. It's as classic now as it was back then.
I-
Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to
I
give
don't even know
something
how
up.
we ended up here. Why are there so many walls? Do any of these doors open? What is happening? Why are we following? You didn't even like the line. How are we back on the line? How did this happen? Hey, remember that time that I started this game and immediately unlocked the saddest ending completely by accident? Wow. I also don't know why I'm walking in circles right now. This is... Okay, let's just... The baby room is the cargo... I don't remember the baby room. I don't remember seeing a baby. I know we must have, but I don't remember it. Does the phone ring? Nope. Okay. Alright. Alright, here's our ominous red
Don't you
lighting.
get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
You put it
That's
here.
why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
Oh.
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh. Oh my. That is...
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley
Extremely
Parable.
dramatic.
True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
just a
Sure,
shot in
you
the
don't need me
dark.
to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Chat, they want me to kill Anthony.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would
I like
see
how
that
it's
its
shaking the
desire to
entire
crush
game.
buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
You're giving me a
Okay,
headache.
the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly
why is
now.
it get-
The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
It's
hurry
gonna
and
crash. There we go. Does this count as sparing Anthony? I don't know.
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential.
Did
we
it?
were going to do such marvelous things with you. Tell such
Really?
spellbinding stories about you.
Are you
All
sure?
of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here,
What?
you were magnificent.
Are you sure? So are we gonna get yelled at again? I'm guessing we're gonna get yelled at again. Oh, we're gonna fade to black first. Hang on. And there's the reload. Okay. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay. Cool.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
I don't
Is this
know.
Stanley's office?
At this point, I'm not sure what anything is. I'm gonna level with him. I don't know anything anymore. The window? The first window? climb a desk? I don't think I can. I don't think these desks are climbable. Be my Valentine? Oh, there you go. This door doesn't open. Yeah, I think we'll have to keep moving.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Well, you know, you gotta be careful about... I like how the narrator goes straight back to praising Anthony. Like he wasn't immediately earlier trying to convince us to destroy him.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
The good ending. The good ending where the good ending where Anthony is spared and the bucket destroyer is not. I feel like we've done this.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
Can't
office.
go through there. Can't go through there. Can we go through these windows? No. Can't interact with that. We've already determined that the elevator doesn't let you do anything. But we can at least summon it, so that's fun. Okay, well, I guess we'll reset again.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand.
I wonder
It was only
why.
a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were.
Yeah, you think
Just
so?
a matter of time.
I don't know. I have questions. Alright, we'll skip the bucket this time. Sorry, Anthony, you can't accompany us for this one.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know, I feel like...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Oh yeah, I remember. There's
Perhaps he
something
wanted
else
to
we
stop
still
by
need
the
to try.
employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Let's see, what if...
It was okay.
It was okay!
But eager to get back to
was
business,
okay.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
It's just like, alright, whatever. It was okay. Alright, we're going this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
You've already
I
told us
realize that
this.
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I like how he's trying to give us
Someone
this
you've been
speech again.
neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
I mean-
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. And there it is. The last stick.
There we go. We found
Savor
it.
this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Or as I like
Where
to
so
call it,
many
playing
people expect
literally
to be
any video
rewarded for the
game.
most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
It's just like playing
I
Super
would
Mario
tell you that I'm
Sunshine.
proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Wow. Well, that's cool and all. I guess we'll have to go back to the meeting room at some point and go and check that out. Can't leave now, so he said the red door, right? I think he said the red door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
This one?
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to
Kinda.
find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen?
A
Well,
little.
don't let me stop you.
Cool.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
I mean-
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
It is kind of
Do
funny.
you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Hey,
Help
unseen
me here,
content is
Stanley.
pretty
Help
cool.
elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Oh, cool.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go
Complete
ahead,
with-
Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Complete with... Hold on. What if now we go through the left? Oh, I could... I got so many options now. I've unlocked a whole new world. He sounds like a saltier Arby's meats guy. Here's a fun fact for you, Rose. That is the same act. If you don't know this, that's the same actor who's Luthor. That's Luthor from Mission Impossible. It's the same guy. Just so you know. I'm torn. Oh, man. You know what? Now we'll go through the left door since he wanted it so badly. Oh. Please rate your
I'm going to
experience.
stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, they're the same person, Rose. The third option was the baby room. Oh, I see. Well, good news. We can always come back. I'm gonna give him a 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling.
Yes.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
Oh, yeah?
And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Oh, sweet.
Let's
Let's
take a
find
look.
out. What? Worldwide leaderboard. Oh my gosh. Wait, how many endings achieved? Did you know that 21.3% of players skipped the intro? Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. Oh my goodness. We're objectively ranked 9,328 out of 9,328. Oh no. Oh, friends list empty. I'm being roasted, chat. This is you. This is your superior. Oh. My stomach. And after I got all the collectibles too. Aw. I thought I was doing pretty well. Alright, right door.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I don't know if it motivated me. I'll give that a 3.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely
really?
opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Yeah?
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Are we about to... Okay, sure.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life.
There's nowhere else
I
to
think
go.
the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
It makes the world's worst sound. Why is this so bad? Chad, I'm sorry, but I think if I wanna, I think I'm gonna have to let the baby go. What is it? It actually, something happens if we do this for 4 hours? Shiny, that is so bad. We're not doing this for 4 hours. Oh my gosh. Okay, I apologize in advance, chat, but I don't think I can do this. Why is the baby... There's no way to get it to stop either. You just have to... This is... Why does it make this noise? Alright, here we go. I apologize in advance, team. This is it. I can't do it anymore.
You heartless bastard.
You can't say
Did you
that.
do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for
I like
me.
how the texture just
I'm not even
fails.
going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
Yeah?
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Oh.
Let's see. What do we have here?
You have another game for me? A whole other game? Is this the Stanley Parable 3?
This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
You're gonna send a video of the whole thing condensed to 6 minutes. Oh, joy. What the...
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
Well, there's
What's our
Clorox.
backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Hey, this stream
Yes,
isn't supposed
that
to be
must
PG-13.
What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity.
I feel like I've
So
seen
far,
this
I
game,
love
though.
everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
How... Is this... What is happening? The Birds of Wyoming, Death Strikes at 2, and Sterilex. Not Clorox, but Sterilex and Cold Man. This game's called Firewatch, I see. And Chlortox, oh, of course, I should have known. Why is there bleach on top of the stove? You know what? Not gonna think about it. Who firewatches the Firewatch? Okay. Oh, we're in Wyoming. Got it. Okay, well, let's go outside. Oh, I went the wrong way. Let's try this again. I'm sorry, it used to be Minecraft. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is quite the walk, actually.
Oh, no. No, 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 it can't be.
No? What? What's wrong with it? What do you not like about it?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Oh,
Oh, thank goodness,
Well.
Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
okay. Well,
Out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here.
Really?
Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable
hey,
walls.
hold on. We climbed the tree. We're climbing this tree. Kind
Okay,
of.
I think this will be just the thing.
Hey, we could... Okay, well, we're not climbing the tree anymore.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just
what
a
is
nice
this?
big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is
Is this
game
Rocket
design.
League?
Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Okay, I was right. It is Rocket League. I think it's funny that I knew that because
so
I've
what
never
exactly
played it.
do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here.
Where do
Is
you
this
see it?
game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together.
Yeah?
Yes.
I like how it
I
even
think
says
surely we
Rocket
must.
League.
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh my. Wow, Stanley kicks pretty far. Oh, and he moves faster too.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then
no.
surely multiple balls makes
no.
for an even more euphoric sports
no.
experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Okay, alright.
Yes.
I just got
oh,
small.
goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it?
Kick this.
Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable.
Wait a minute, hold on.
More balls.
No, hold on. Oh. Okay. Hang on. Let me sink a few of these before you keep this up. Just give me a second. Okay, well that's awkward. It's actually a little more difficult to kick this from a
Are you
first party
enjoying
view.
this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
Why?
That's right. Your little
What?
fun comes to an end.
Yeah,
This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what
I was
I
kinda
am.
having
I
fun
am
with that.
structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since
okay.
you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something.
Yeah.
After all, you're the one who knows best.
Okay.
Take care, Stanley.
Well, can I at least have the ball back? No? Okay, well, what happens if I walk into the soccer goal?
Hold on. What are you doing?
Ooh.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Well, I mean, where else did you expect me to go? There was no ball. There was nowhere to go. Oh. 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 Okay. All right. This is different. Okay, all right. The narrator's very reliable. Is he, though? Wait, hold on. Can we go in here? That is a grainy texture. Okay, 423. This door doesn't open. Oh, this one, okay, so they have some lights on. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, hey, look, it's my cubicle. Although the computer looks kind of cooler in here, actually. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I guess we'll just leave here now. Oh. Well.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
Yeah?
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
Well, I mean, I'm not getting to navigate
Very
anymore,
soon.
so I guess it has to be.
I can wait.
Are we about to be kicked out? Oh, there it is. I wondered. Oh, man. Oh, okay. All right, so we're here now. Wait. Nope. Hold on. Hold on. It's different again.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines.
The
Those
figurines.
Figures. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your
I can't
entire
even leave this
life?
area.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
What?
Yes, I know we're supposed
This
to be telling
is
a
a
story,
mouse
but
cursor.
won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Are we going
I would love nothing more
We're going
than to
back
revisit the figurines.
into the memories?
Just one more time.
Okay, I thought you hate. I can't decide if he likes me or not. What is? Okay, well, all right, sure. Sure. Let's go back into the world of Skyrim. Why not? Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Oh, goody. Oh my gosh. Alright, back into the Stanley Parable. Not the sequel, but the regular one, but also the sequel. Yeah. The original. Oh, look. They use Firefox. That's a very old version of Firefox. Nope, can't go in there. Okay, well, I guess we will just drop. Whee!
Here's where it all began.
Can you find them?
First
Oh my-
collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find.
I mean-
Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
Well,
We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
no? Hold on, wait a minute. I just had an idea. Ha! I had a feeling. It's like, wait a minute. What if I grab number 7? You all don't get to have it. It's mine. I don't know what end that accomplished, but somehow it was more satisfying. And he didn't get upset with me. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh,
And
dear.
here was a second Stan Loreen. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let
Well.
alone 6.
Well.
But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane,
Unremarkable
unremarkable ways.
Well, I mean, I did have... How did we end up here? Seriously. Oh, well, I got 8 out of 6 now.
Okay,
Does that
let's
help,
do a little quiz.
Rose?
Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Yep. It's this one.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you
Now
had
we're at
3
9
of
out of
them.
6.
I'm
How's
glad
that going,
these moments are
Rose?
so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
I don't know. I don't know about it being impossible.
Let's see, what came next?
Well,
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
No.
Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
now we have 10 out of 6. And, I think I've broken Rose's mind. And also, maybe the narrators? Pink room? I don't... Okay, cool. Alright, box time.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly.
I feel like I could
In
fall
fact,
from here.
because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the
goody.
occasion. Enjoy.
Oh no. I'm sorry. What? What? Really? What? Oh. No. No, it's a power. No. No. What? What? Oh my gosh, why is this happening? Thanks for watching, complete with the... Oh great, we get the credits. Best Boy, starring Stanley Kroger.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
It-
I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
It was 8 minutes. Hey, what happens if you fall from here? Oh. Well, you can't. I'm trying, and you can't, so... Sorry, chat. No finding out what happens if I fall from here. But hey, now we have 11 out of 6. So, Rose can continue to feel sick to her stomach, and I can walk through this vent. Oh, hey, look, a door.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This
Yeah.
memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Yeah.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other.
except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Yeah, of course. Oh, and then both doors go... Okay. Alright, so it doesn't matter which door you pick now. 12 out of 6 is acceptable, because that's just 2. I see. Oh, I can make the static come back and forth on this TV over and over. Whew, sorry. I briefly mesmerized myself there. A palette swap. Palette swaps are usually Meringue's gig. I'm not really, I'm not usually really equipped for a palette swap. But I guess we can see what happens if I put on some custom lighting. Hang on a sec. Okay. Let's see. If I turn on the lights... Let me see here. Let me get some colorized filters on and... Woo! Hello. Yeah, I kind of did, actually. Is that what you were looking for? Is that what you're looking for, Hunter? Is this acceptable? Alright, we'll go with that. Cool. Alright. Where were we? Besides losing our marbles a bit? You're a big shot there, Shiny. Alright, we'll go into the door now. You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh, okay. All right. So now we have 12 out of 6. So that's cool.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen.
What?
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines?
What?
Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay. Sure. Fake loading screen. That's fine. Why not? Let's go back.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue
Oh,
doors.
no.
I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Well, now we're at 13 out of 6. Huh. Sure, let's keep going. Well, now you get 13.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I do. Oh, no.
Yes, I love that video.
I'm good. I'm glad we got to see it again. There's 14 out of 6, so that's great. Yeah, love that. I still don't know about this pink room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, it's nice. It's baffling, but it's nice.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them.
Yeah?
I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Yeah, you're glad we resisted the temptation with our 16 out of 6? What's over here? Nothing. You can't go this way. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so we gotta
This
go
was
under
our
here.
second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
17 out of 6. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like 17. Ah, yes, and then
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Not a lot. Oh, well, okay, I guess there was this room. I still wish I could collect that one. I think it'd be funny. No. No, are you going to make me replay the jump circle?
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold
That
on.
I still
I
can't
remember
use.
hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter
I
on
still
everything.
can't do anything.
In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is.
No.
I want more. More memories.
You're just not even paying attention to the game anymore. What is going on? How does this keep happening? It's my own fault. I made these choices.
Oh, yes. The two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory,
Well, I
this
mean...
one.
Oh, and then they both lead to the same room. Okay, that's fine. Oh, is this my office?
And before everything else, there was your office.
Of course. Why did I say it's my office? It's not even my office.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
I don't think so.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
But, Mama? Mama? Your mama?
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Okay,
I
I don't
remember
have
before
control
this
of the
whole
room now.
story got started. Back then, I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go.
Okay.
I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it.
What?
Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship.
How did we end
And
up here?
Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction.
Okay.
But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again.
Okay.
I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Oh,
I
okay.
did enjoy telling his story so very much.
Did you?
Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Do I have access again? It's loading again, so presumably I will. Okay. All right.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
You want to one day see weather? Oh gosh. Okay. Great. Should we bring Anthony or not? I don't know. Does Anthony accompany us on this version? I don't know what happens at this point. I don't know where we are. Oh my gosh. Sure, let's go get Anthony.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate.
What? Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
You unlock an epilogue after all figurines and opening the game at least 5 times. Oh, good to know.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt
5
the
times.
bucket calling to him,
you know.
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful
We
the bucket
spent so
turned
much
out
time
to
in
be.
this room. Oh, that was weird. Did y'all see that? Hold on. Oh, that.
Truly, being here with the
There's
bucket
collision
was a
right
grand
here.
adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together.
I don't know why,
First,
but there is.
walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
I wonder why that works. Oh, there's a rodent.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad
Oh, I
you
feel like
found
we've been
your way
here.
I knew you'd find this place
Oh, yeah.
eventually.
Okay. So I shouldn't have brought.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
Yeah.
We've come together here.
Because we care about you very much. Thank you. Alright,
All of his co-workers were gone.
Alright.
What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's see. What about...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't think we ever actually did the thing that we were supposed to do. Of course, we're also supposed to wrap up pretty soon, because it is getting late. Well... At least we can see the meeting room now.
Yet there was not a single person here
Oh.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
They got rid of all the references to our collectibles.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I guess I did, yeah.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yay!
Stepping into his manager's
This
office,
is a
Stanley was
huge
once again
office.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments
Oh,
with
no!
some calming New Age music.
Dave's like, hey!
Being soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened
I love
passageway.
that. It's like, nope, now I'm gonna make you wait. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, sure. Let's try this and see what happens. And speedrunners? Do you even speedrun a game like this? Is that even a possibility?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah? Is that what I did? You know, there's some irony in all
The
of
lights
this.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to
There's
himself.
people speedrunning,
Did he
sharpening a
have the
pen?
strength
I guess
to
that's
find
true.
out?
This is... I like how these buttons are all
Now
very
the
clearly
monitors
labeled.
jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
There's not a lot of employees,
The lives of
honestly.
so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I mean, to be fair, the screen of him doesn't actually show him. It's just a recording of an office, so like, you know. Right?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
It's funny you mention
Was this
that.
the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Could it be?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
And he doesn't even
it
have
was
the bucket.
unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even
Anthony's
possible?
not even here.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content.
Or two.
Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
No.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
All right. One more for the history books.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode.
Nuclear
eliminating
detonators?
the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had
I'm
in
gonna
mind.
guess-
What a shame we have so little
I'm gonna
time
guess
left
this
to
door
enjoy
closes.
it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
know.
But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Yeah, you know.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
Yeah?
Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds
I could
left.
be wrong,
but
but
I'm
I
enjoying
don't
this
think
so
I'm going to
much.
be able to get out
You
of this.
know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious
Oh,
additional
good. More
seconds,
time.
Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
This would be true.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save
To
me.
be honest, I just wanted to
Why
see if it
you
would
say
happen.
that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Oh, now he's laughing
but here's
evilly.
a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
Oh yeah, he's definitely mad.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
Okay.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
And then it,
No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Oh, there's no ending either?
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
Honestly, I'm
Or
just-
don't. It's all the same.
just
to
kind of
me,
enjoying
all a
pushing
part
all the
of
different
joke.
beepers.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
boom. I suddenly don't feel so bad about that one time that I made him sad. I don't know, maybe it's just me. And on that wonderful note, everybody, that is my cue to wrap up for the day, because it is 10, and I have work tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me. Next time we'll do the intended path. And then who knows what'll happen after that. I don't. So we'll figure that out later. But thanks for hanging out. Again, it was a lot of fun, and I hope you all had a good time. This is a wild game, so I'm glad I got to share it with y'all. At 1 a.m. Yeah, no kidding. So I will, oh, what was that? I will see you all next time. But until then, please, as always, you know the drill. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And until next we meet. Ciao for now. Bye all. Take care.